Colleen Tanguay, please.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give to the court and the jury in the matter now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Could you please state your name and spell your first and your last name for the record?
My name is Colleen Tanguay. First name is Collleen. Last name is Tanguay. Tanguay.
I'm going to ask you to keep your voice up a little bit more if you could. That
Yes.
sounds like two inches too short.
Okay.
All right, thank you. How are you employed?
Currently, I am what's called a post-retiree, a contract employee with the Mass State Police. I retired in July of 2023 after 27 years in law enforcement.
And when you retired in July of 2023, what was your rank?
I was a detective lieutenant.
And what branch of law enforcement did you work for?
So I worked for the Massachusetts State Police. When I retired as a detective lieutenant, at that point in time, I worked for the Office of Professional OPIA, Office of Professional Integrity and Accountability, which is essentially IA and staff inspections combined. But 18 years prior to that, for those 18 years prior to that, I actually worked in crime scene services.
All right, so you were in law enforcement for 23 years, all of that with the state police?
27 years?
27, I apologize.
That's okay. 4 years I was with the town of Northborough, and then 23 years with this Mass State Police.
And how long were you with crime scene services?
I have 18 years total.
Okay. And can you explain what crime scene services is?
Sure. Crime Scene is a support unit for local, state, and federal agencies. We provide services such as documentation of crime scenes, processing crime scenes for latent prints, also impression evidence such as footwear and tire tracks. We also, any evidence that is submitted in, we process them for latent prints, comparisons, analysis. That's the summary of what we do.
And have you received any specialized training in connection with being assigned to the crime scene services section?
Yes, both internal and external training that involves photography, videography, latent print processing, comparison analysis, courtroom testimony. I have to pass a competency test in any areas that I work in, and then every year I have to pass a proficiency test in those areas to make sure that I'm keeping up with essentially the times.
And at a certain point, did you become a supervisor within crime scene services?
Yes, I was a trooper, and then I'm trying to think of what year. I then became a sergeant where I was in charge of the Maynard lab, which that was what I was at the time of this incident. I then became a lieutenant, where I was the executive officer, and I was number 2 in charge. I assisted the unit commander with the day-to-day runnings, and I oversaw 3 labs prior to being promoted out and going to OPIA.
And so is it fair to say that there's different geographic areas that crime scene services serves?
Yes, there's 7 different labs throughout the Commonwealth. At the time of this, I was assigned to the Maynard lab, and we can go anywhere in the state. Watertown is a good example. We had troopers come from all across the state. We're a state agency, but at this particular time, I was assigned to Maynard, and we have a certain geographical area that we're assigned to.
And does each town or city in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts get assigned to a certain lab?
Yes.
And so currently, what are you doing currently?
So as I said, I'm a post-retiree. I get hired back by the Commonwealth to work for crime scene services because I have an intimate knowledge of how the unit runs. I work directly for the unit commander on projects that he has. It could be a validation study of new chemicals that are coming in. I could be doing an audit of casework in case he has to deal with our quality assurance section. Basically anything that he asks me to do. I'm also working on a training program for the unit.
All right.
Yes,
And you were working out of the Maynard lab?
yes.
Did you have particular shifts that you worked?
So day to day, we would have like a Monday through Friday, 7 to 3, but we also have an on-call schedule so that one person would be on call for a 24-hour period. I was on call that night. It would start at 7 a.m. and go till 7 a.m. the following day. But we often get calls for assist, so even if it's not my call day, I might have another trooper or officer call me and say, hey, could you help me out? I can't cover this call. So technically, I'm on call 24 hours a day.
Okay. And were you sent to a location in Dover?
Yes,
And did Dover get covered by the Maynard lab?
yes.
All right. And what was your assignment when you were sent to Dover?
I essentially was the scene officer, the case officer for crime scene, because I was also the supervisor. I was scene supervisor. And I was requested by the State Police Detective Unit to come and assist them with the investigation.
All right. And did you understand that at a certain point in time, a search warrant was obtained for 29 Valley Road?
Yes.
And what did you do when you arrived at 29 Valley Road?
I proceeded to take photographs of the residents. I also called Trooper Dave Stewart to come out to take a videotape of the scene for me. And I also contacted Trooper Alex Sow to report to a secondary location.
What was the secondary location if you recall?
Residence Inn, I believe in Dedham.
All right. And is it fair to say that you took a number of different photographs of 29 Valley Road?
I did.
And when you're taking photographs of a home, what in general is your approach?
First, you want to document the scene or the home as is, and then we would concentrate on areas of interest. At the time, there was a search warrant being conducted by the State Police Detective Unit. I would photograph the home again as I saw it, and then if they, during their search warrant, found any areas of interest, I would leave the location I was in the house, photograph what they found of interest, and then I'd go back to documenting the scene as I found it.
And was there a chemist also present?
Yes.
Would you document the scene in conjunction with the chemist?
Yes, if he found anything of interest, he would also ask me to come over and photograph it for him in place.
All right. Can we have the lights off? And I'm going to show you a series of photographs that have been marked into evidence and ask you to explain what they are. Ms. Gilman, can we please have exhibit number 148? What do you recognize that to be, ma'am?
That is the residence.
All right. Could we have 149?
It's the
Recognize that.
front door or kind of the side door.
Could we have 151, please? What do you recognize that to be?
The right side of the residence, if you're looking at it from the front.
And could we have 152, please? What's in that?
Gazebo in the rear of the home.
Could we have 150, please? What is that?
Rear of the residence.
I'm sorry, what number is that, Ms. Gilman? 150. Could we have 153, please? What is that?
The left side of the home, that's the garages.
Could we have 155, please? And what is that?
Inside one of the garage bays.
Ms. Gilman, can you make that a little bit bigger? Thank you. All right, could we have exhibit number 157, please?
Same area, just a different view. It's the garage.
And is it typical that you would take photographs of the same area but with just a different perspective?
Yes, so that you can get a 360. As long as I'm capable of actually getting into the space, then I try to take it from different areas and have the photographs overlap.
Could we have 158, please? And what is contained in 158?
That is another view of the garage.
And could we have 159, please? What is contained in this photograph?
starting to enter the home from the garage.
Could we have 160, please?
That is
In this,
the hallway leading in from the garage.
could we have 161, please? What's in this?
That is a room off to the side. I believe it's a bathroom.
Could we have 162, please? What's shown in Exhibit 162?
That is also you're continuing into the home. We're approaching the kitchen from the hallway leading from the garage.
Could we have 163, please?
So now, as you can see, we're taking a left. We're continuing in, or it's a step closer, I should say, to the kitchen. It's a continuation of the hallway.
164, please.
We've now entered the kitchen.
Could we have 166, please?
The countertop in the kitchen.
And Ms. Gilman, can you zoom in a little bit? Are there items on the counter?
Yes, there are several alcohol bottles, a martini glass. It looks like a jar of olives, a spoon.
All right. Could we have 167, please?
It's a close-up. So often when we're taking photographs of scenes, we'll do our overalls, our mid-range, and close-up so that you can see objects as they are in relationship to the room, but then you can get closer and see what the object actually is.
Could we have 168, please?
It's another view.
169, please.
The other side view of the countertop.
170, please.
The kitchen sink in the kitchen.
171, please.
What was in the actual sink,
This is looking down into the sink.
into the sink.
172, please.
Again, another view of the kitchen.
We have 173, please.
An angle of the kitchen leading to the next room.
173, please. I'm sorry, is that 173? Okay. 174, please.
Hallway.
All right. And can you zoom in a little bit on this? All right. Can you describe what can be seen in this photograph?
Sidebar, you want?
Yes. Yours if you want to. Regarding the black spots that were just displayed in one of the photographs, and then any additional photographs or testimony concerning them. Do you want to put that on the record?
That's correct, Your Honor. There are a number of exhibits that the government, I suspect, through this witness will be going through, attempting to elicit what the government argues would be a pattern of spots. They're very strange spots, very strange pattern. I mean, for example, looking at one of the photographs that they have, you're probably talking 2 feet between one spot and another spot. I just don't know what the relevance of the spots is, and I want to make sure that there's no speculation and an argument or inflammatory argument as to the source of the spots that would not conform with the evidence. They never submitted it to the crime laboratory. They never had forensic examination. They never looked to see what the composition of the object or the items were or are. One of the police officers and the detectives opined that they were from the wheels of a suitcase. Your Honor knows that in the questioning of the defendant, the officer asked him a couple of times, I believe, whether or not he put her body in a suitcase, and I'm thinking that this might be where they're heading as far as speculation. There's no evidence to justify that. I don't expect, knowing counsel, that they would be arguing such a speculation in their argument, but nevertheless, I don't see the relevance or materiality of these unknown marks, unknown pattern, so I would ask that we not belabor the point. I am not raising a Bowden issue as to the inefficiency of the police as far as their investigation. I've done it 1,000 times. I don't see that here in this case. I mean, we got the police, they did a good job locating the person. They did, quite frankly, I think, a pretty good job questioning the defendant. They hurried up to, hey, you're not a bad guy. We want to know, find the body. They did a good job in that regard. I don't have any power argument here. But they should have done something that they didn't do, is running most without news. So I just don't see any legal, practical, material basis for this evidence. I can see it being extremely prejudicial, so I respectfully object.
Ms. Beatty?
The only additional thing that I wanted to say in addition to what I said at Sidebar is regardless of whether or not defense counsel argues or requests of an instruction from the court, the Commonwealth's investigation is always at issue for the jury. And the jury has to have confidence in the investigation and in the sufficiency and the professionalism of the investigation, considering that we're asking them to convict this defendant of first-degree murder. So proper scene documentation, taking note of something that's obviously unusual and out of place. Mr. Rocca testified to the black marks, and I'm not going to argue that there was a suitcase, or Ms. McLaughlin's not going to argue that there was a suitcase used at this point in time unless further evidence develops later on in the trial. But that's not part of our evidence in our case in chief. And so this is just about scene documentation.
Okay, so to the extent she wants to testify about seeing this pattern and seeing a series of black dots, she may do so. There is to be no speculation as to what those are.
Yes, Your Honor.
They weren't collected or tested, they were photographed?
That's right.
Were they swabbed at all?
No.
Okay, and is she going to make it clear that that's, in other words, there was a picture of I think some dots on a hardwood floor. That is not a pattern of the hardwood floor?
No.
I don't know that she's going to say that's not a pattern.
No, I would
No,
agree with that.
it's not.
Okay.
It's some unknown substance on the floor. There's a series of photographs
Right.
coming. The chemist also in his scene diagrams documented them with some asterisks. And I would anticipate that he would also testify about those, but.
All right, so it's to be limited to black spots, no further argument or inference as to what they could potentially be?
Yes, understood.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So for what it's worth, don't my objection, you want?
Yes.
All rise.
Witness back, please.
Yes.
Approximately in the center to the left, there's a small black mark.
Could we have it 175, please? What's in 175?
This is a picture, I'd call it a living room.
176, please?
Close-up of the ottoman in the living room.
And what can be seen on the ottoman?
There looks like a martini glass.
177, please.
Different side of the same room, different angle.
178, please.
As you can see, the leather couch in the bottom left, it's just the other side of the living room.
179, please.
This appears to be an office.
And could we have 180, please?
Different view of the office.
181, please.
Again, another view of the office, different angle. This is piece of furniture to next to the desk in the office.
183, please.
Different angle of the top of the desk.
184, please.
This is another type of living room.
185, please.
Different angle of the same room.
186, please.
Different angle of the same room.
187, please.
Dining room.
188, please.
Picture of the table in the dining room.
What's on top of it?
Appears to be puzzles.
189, please.
Again, of the floor in the hallway. You can see the stairs in the back.
Okay. And can you zoom in a little bit? All right. And ma'am, when you were in the home in the early morning hours of the 16th, did you have the opportunity to make any observations of the floor in 29 Valley Road?
Yes, there is a series of small black marks that it almost created a pattern. They'd be like 2 inches apart. There'd be two small black marks. And in additional photos, you'll see that I marked them out and I did take some measurements. And they seem to be a pattern going through the house.
And did you attempt to document them in your photographs?
I did.
Okay. And is this one area where you took a photograph of the floor?
Yes.
Okay. Could we have page 190, please?
It's again, same floor with the stairs in the back left.
191, please.
Picture of the hallway and the stairs leading to the second floor.
192, please.
That is hair that was found on the bottom of, it was on the platform near the bottom of the stairs.
190,
Another picture of the stairs,
194, please.
platform on the stairs.
195, please.
Those are close-ups of two of the black marks.
196, please.
The top of the stairs.
197, please.
Picture of the hallway.
198, please.
Another picture of the hallway from a different angle.
199, please.
Another picture of the floor in the hallway.
200, please.
Picture of the door at the end of the hallway.
201, please.
That's probably mid-range of the door showing damage to the frame.
202, please.
That is now inside the room. It's a different angle of the damage to the door frame.
203, please.
Now we're inside the door, and this is a picture of the bedroom.
204, please.
It's a different angle of the bedroom.
205, please.
It's a different angle of the bedroom.
206, please.
A different angle of the bedroom.
207.
A different angle of the same room.
208, please.
And again, a different angle of the same room.
And what can be seen in 208?
We're looking at the bed. There seems to be a pile of sheets off to the right. There's some clothing in boxes along the right side wall. And to the left, there's a bureau.
209, please.
It's a close-up of the footboard of the bed.
And 210, please.
On the floor by the footboard is broken glass.
211, please.
It's a picture of the bed itself. In the right-hand side, there appears to be a red-brown stain.
And on top of the bed, are there any items?
It appears to be clothing. One of the items to the left looks to me to be a silk. I'm not sure if it's a pajama or a bra.
212, please.
A different angle of the same bed.
213, please.
Close-up of the red-brown stain.
214, please.
This is close-up of the clothing that was on the bed.
Sorry, Ms. Gilman, is this 214? Okay. 215, please.
We've moved over to the left of the bed. You can see the bureau's to the left and the bed is on the right.
216, please.
This is underneath the nightstand.
And 217.
It's a close-up of what looks like a broken glass underneath the nightstand.
218, please.
That's the top of the nightstand.
219.
It's a close-up of what is inside the bag on top of the nightstand.
220.
That is, so like I explained earlier, I would occasionally be taken away to take photographs. This is a photograph of the screen on a cell phone.
And Ms. Gilman, can you just zoom in, please? A little bit more, please. All right. Can we have 220, please? Oh, that's 220, sorry. 221.
Okay, we're back at the bedroom, and the bureau that was on the left, this is a picture of the corner of the room to the right of the bureau.
222, please.
This is a picture of the bureau.
And 223.
This is a mid-range of the top of the bureau. If you'll notice to the left, there's a broken glass. There is a pillow, and on top of that pillow is another part of a broken glass.
So, did you place those items on the bureau or on the pillow?
No, this is how I found the room.
And would you ever move items in order to photograph them without documenting that?
No, I document the room and the location as I found it, and then afterwards we would go back and add placards and take additional photographs as we collect items.
Page 224, please. I mean, exhibit 224, please. What is that?
That's a close-up of a broken glass on the bureau.
225, please.
That's a close-up of a broken glass that was on the pillow.
226, please.
Picture of a door frame in the bedroom, I believe it's leading into a closet.
227, please.
And this is the interior of the closet.
228, please.
It's another angle of the closet.
229, please.
And that's a picture of some suitcases inside the closet.
230, please.
This is another picture from in the bedroom of another door.
231, please.
Picture of the bathroom off of that bedroom.
And 232, please.
Additional pictures of the bedroom. This is showing the bathtub.
234, please.
A different angle of the bathroom.
235, please.
Now we're back to a hallway.
236, please.
This is an additional bedroom.
237, please.
This is an additional picture of the hallway to the right that leads downstairs, to the left that leads up to the upper floor.
238, please.
This is a picture of a laundry room with a suitcase on the floor.
239,
This is an additional picture of the laundry room.
240,
This is another bedroom.
241,
And when you get additional picture of the bedroom, this is the other side of the room, different angle.
241, please. Is that 242, please?
This is a picture of a bathroom,
243, please.
a picture of a bedroom,
244, please.
picture of a different bedroom.
245, please.
This is the bottom of the stairs on the first floor. If you'll notice, there are now pieces of tape and a placard that have been inserted in the scene.
Ms. Gilman, can you zoom in a little bit so we can see? Okay. When you say placard, what do you mean by that?
So the placard, as you can see, it's a yellow placard. It's number 1. They go in sequential order, or they're supposed to go in sequential order from 1, 2, 3. It's usually as you find items of evidence or items of interest. So you may see a 1 next to a 9 because something was found later on. So if I find an object, that gets number 1. As I find the next object, that gets number 2. As the SPDU may find things, I put number 3, 4 down, stuff like that. So those are ruler tape. We have, it's literally a ruler in the form of tape, and we use it to help document scenes and take measurements when we need to take photographs of like latent prints or items of interest.
246, please.
This is a different angle. You can see the tape leading down the stairs. I was documenting the black round marks. Like I said, they were systematic throughout the house. They led from the second floor all the way down. You can see the tape coming down the stairs, goes off to the left and leads out to the other room. Placard number 1 at the bottom of the stairs is hairs. There's a clump of hair at the bottom, and then if you see several stairs up, there's a placard at the top of that, and that's another single hair.
Okay, so that's number 2.
Number 2.
We have 247, please.
That's the clump of hair at the bottom of the stairs.
We have 248, please.
Just showing the tape and the black round marks. And then number 2 is a hair.
249, please.
I believe in there the tape is showing the hair.
250, please.
As you see, there's tape coming down the hallway, and I was documenting the pattern of the round black marks.
251, please.
This is another picture of the hallway with the round black marks being documented.
252, please.
Continuation of the hallway, again showing that the round black marks continued through the hallway.
253, please.
That is where the round black marks, you could say, either began or ended. But again, as you can see, they are systematic as they go throughout the house.
254, please.
It's a continuation of the tape and the round black marks.
And there's a placard in that one as well.
To the left is number 5. That is the broken glass.
255, please.
As you can see, this is a different angle. You can see the tape. You can see placard number 5, and on the bed with the red-brown stain is another placard.
256, please.
Placard number 3 is indicating the red-brown stain on the bed.
And 257, please.
Number 4, placard number 4 is indicating the broken glass on the bureau.
258, please.
This is a different photograph of placard number 5 indicating the broken glass at the foot of the bed.
259, please.
This is a different angle of the tape that is marking off in the hallway.
260, please.
Additional photographs of the tape and the black round marks going down the stairwell.
261, please.
Additional photographs, this is from at the top of the, if you want to call it balcony, showing that the marks go down the stairs, turn around, and then proceed out the hallway.
262, please.
Additional photographs from the top of the stairs leading down.
261A, please.
This is a close-up of the black marks. You can see that there's 2 sets of black marks, round circles. They're approximately, if I remember correctly, about 1 inch apart. But then I can't remember off the top of my head how far in distance they actually are.
263, please.
That's a close-up showing the marks.
264, please.
And that's another close-up of a different set of marks.
266, please.
This is the kitchen, and as you can see, I have additional tape marked off showing that those marks continue through to the kitchen.
267, please.
That is the foyer. You can see the front door, and you can see a piece of tape in the middle.
Gil, can you zoom in just a little bit, please?
I believe that's a piece, yep. As you can see in the photo that it's showing the 2 black marks.
268, please.
That's a close-up of 2 black marks in the foyer.
269, please.
This is a photograph of the gym. It's a different part of the house.
270, please.
This is another picture of, it could be an extension of the gym, but it's got what appears to be a massage table.
271, please.
This is a picture of the movie room in the home.
And 272, please.
This is a different angle of the movie room in the home.
273.
This is a picture of a sliding door.
274, please.
And this is a picture of a game console that was behind the sliding door.
275, please.
This is a picture of some electronic equipment that was also behind the sliding door.
And 276, please.
This is another picture of a different game room in the home.
Can I just come back, please, Your Honor?
Yes.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
You are retired now, right?
I am retired.
You want the lights back on, Mr.
Sure.
McGee? Okay, thank you.
All right, you went through all of the photographs that you took of the interior of the home, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you take pictures at the scene of a pond at some point?
I did not.
Okay. You make reference to hair from the stairs, I believe, maybe in the area in front of the stairs in the house, correct?
Yes.
Now, was that you're the crime scene CSS, crime scene services person, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if, for example, in your investigation, this pen was important, and you saw it, you photographed it, would you be the person that would then seize it, with the gloves, so you don't leave any prints?
Not necessarily, sir.
Okay, so as opposed to not necessarily, who would seize
So we work in conjunction with other units. So the hair may be collected by the chemist. It would normally be collected by the chemist. I don't collect biologicals unless a chemist is not available or under exigent circumstances.
Was there a chemist there when you were there for CSS?
There was, sir.
You know who that was?
His name's Matt Sheehan.
Matt Sheehan? Okay. So you had nothing to do with seizing the hair that was in the house?
I did not.
Know anything about the dog in the house shedding and leaving hairs all over the place?
No, sir.
Did you see the suitcases that were in the bedroom, that were in the other room, that were downstairs, the suitcases?
Yes, sir.
Number of suitcases? Could I have 210, Steve? That's one of the photographs in the bedroom that depicts the front of the furniture and the shattered glass in front of it, correct?
Yes.
And up here would be a shard or a section of the glass, correct?
Yes.
And then there's another section right here that would appear to be from the glass as well, correct?
Yes.
Could you have 215, please? So this would be exhibit 215, that also depicts the area of the bed towards the left, as you pointed out, right?
Yes.
222, please. That also is a glass that was placed by somebody on the furniture, correct?
Yes.
Now, that was there when you were there. You didn't place that there, right?
Correct.
You don't know how that got there, who put that there, right?
No, sir.
Could you also pull up the one where they show the glass that's underneath the end table next to the bed? I thought it was 215. 17, try that. Yeah, 217. Now, on 217, what exactly is this? I know it's glass, but what does it show?
It's the nightstand to the left of the bed.
Okay,
That's underneath the nightstand. It's showing a glass. The top part of it appears to be broken.
okay. So, and that was underneath the nightstand, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You noted and documented by photograph what appears to be a circular red-brown stain on the bed, right?
Yes.
On the photographs, one of the things that you noted would be, I guess you call it a dog guard. In other words, the little thing that blocks the stairs so dogs can't run up and down the stairs.
Yes.
That was there, right? That's depicted in your photograph, right?
Yes.
To the 260. I'd pull it up anyway, 260. Thank you. And that would be the metal or whatever, the dark colored locked guard, right?
That's, yes, on the, a gate on the platform.
Now, you also noted that there was broken glass that actually had gone as far as the pillow in the bed, right?
There was broken glass that was on the pillow, yes. That was not on the bed, it was on the bureau.
Oh, in the bureau, okay. Now, you had nothing to do with seizing any of the glass, testing, that would be the chemist, right?
Not necessarily. The chemist might. It might be the SPDU. It
What
could,
is that?
I'm sorry, State Police Detective Unit.
Okay.
It could be me. We would make a determination on scene
Okay.
if it was something to be collected.
Now, one of the things that you did was document in excruciating detail these mysterious black marks, right?
Yes.
Did you make any observation whatsoever of any smearing or streaking or anything of that nature other than the dots?
Smearing or
In other words, you have the photographs that show the dots.
yes.
On any of the dots, did you notice any smearing or streaking or drag marks or anything like that?
There was, in other photos that I had taken, there appeared to be a scratch
Scratch, okay.
on the floor.
Scratch on the floor.
Yes, but as far as the black marks, they weren't perfect.
I know they weren't perfect, but as far, you know what I mean by a smear or a streak, right?
Yes,
Didn't see any of that.
no,
Okay. And the black mark that you do recall seeing that had a scratch on the floor, that would be, in your opinion, caused by something obviously that would either be heavy or would cause a scratch on a wooden floor, right?
yes,
And there were a lot of suitcases in that house, right?
yes.
Now, I'm asking you about whether or not any scrapings, I don't know what you call it, scrapings or swabs or anything like that would be taken of the black marks so that they could be put into a, dating myself, test tube or something so you can preserve it and then send it to the crime lab for testing. Was that done?
Well, I did not do that.
Okay.
And they appeared to be non-biological in nature.
So the
And
answer
so,
is no?
so I'm going to say no. I can't speak for the chemist in what his job would be, or the criminalist and what his job would be.
And you were really pretty much confined, not confined, but I mean, your job was in the house itself in Dover.
Yes, in the house.
Nothing to do with the car or the hotel room or any of that stuff.
No, sir, I did not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Nothing further, thanks.
Okay, thank you. You may step down. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.